So we wanted to work through this molecule and help us determine the sigma bonds, the pi bonds present, as well as the hybridization of each of the atoms in this molecule. And before I start, I wanted to go over a basic definition for our sigma and a pi bond. So our sigma bond is a single bond, and our pi bonds come into place when we have a double or triple bond. And the important thing about our pi bond is our pi bond can only be formed from side to side orbital overlap of p or d orbitals. Sigma bonds, we'll see many more cases of sigma bonds. Those can be from atomic orbitals, so s to s or s to p, or 2p orbitals, or hybrid orbitals as well. Whereas our pi bonds, the pi bonds we're going to see are formed from side-to-side orbital overlap of 2 atomic p orbitals, or a p orbital and a d orbital. Sigma bonds can also be referred to using that symbol sigma, and pi bonds can also be referred to using that symbol for pi. So taking a look at the structure that we have, right, I have a carbon-hydrogen sigma bond. So I have one sigma bond there. In this carbon-carbon triple bond, within that triple bond, I have one sigma bond and 2 different pi bonds. In this carbon-carbon bond that's next, right, I have one sigma bond here. I have a sigma bond here as well for my carbon-hydrogen bond. And the same could be said up here, another carbon-hydrogen sigma bond. Looking at this carbon of the carboxylic acid, right here is a sigma bond, a carbon-carbon sigma bond, a carbon-oxygen sigma bond, and an oxygen-hydrogen sigma bond. Within this carbon-oxygen double bond of the carboxylic acid, I have one sigma bond and one pi bond within this structure. So though now we've identified the bonds within the structure, we have to figure out the hybridization of this. And by hybridization, we need to figure out how many electron domains we have. And once we know how many electron domains, I know how many hybrid orbitals I would need, right, for that central atom that we're talking about. I don't need to worry about the hydrogens because hydrogen is always 1s, right? So that hydrogen is 1s. I don't have to worry about the hybridization there because I only have an s orbital when I have hydrogen. Now if I look at this carbon, and let's call it carbon 1, carbon 2, carbon 3, carbon 4, and I'll call this oxygen 1 and oxygen 2. So for carbon 1 has 2 electron domains. It has a carbon-hydrogen single bond to the left and a carbon-carbon triple bond to the right. So because I have 2 electron domains, right, I'm going to be linear. And if I'm linear, I would be sp hybridized. I need 2 electron domains. I need 2 hybrid orbitals. So I would be sp hybridized. So for carbon 1, the carbon-hydrogen bond is going to occur from a hybrid sp orbital on carbon to the atomic s orbital on hydrogen. In that carbon-carbon triple bond, carbon 1 to carbon 2, I have my sigma bond occurring between an sp hybrid orbital on carbon 1 and an sp hybrid orbital on carbon 2. I have 2 pi bonds within that triple bond. The only way, carbon does not have d orbitals, so the only way I can form those pi bonds between the 2 carbons would be between a p orbital and a p orbital from carbon 1 to carbon 2, and then from my second pi bond, right, another p orbital to another p orbital, right? This could be, we could say, px to px, py to py, or pz, right? Putting them into different planes. They cannot be the same p orbitals, but two different p orbitals. For carbon-2 is going to look much like carbon-1. It's going to be sp hybridized, the carbon-carbon triple bond. We've already broken down each of the bonds there. The carbon-carbon single bond would be, and we'll work through that when we get to carbon-3. So let's do that. Carbon-3. Carbon-3, I have 4 electron domains, and all of those electron domains are bonding domains, so I would have a electron domain geometry and a molecular geometry of tetrahedral. Because I'm tetrahedral, right, how do I get those 4 electron domains? I have to be sp3 hybridized. So for carbon-3, I have a carbon-hydrogen sigma bond. I have 2 of those. That's going to be formed between an sp3 hybrid orbital on carbon and the s orbital on hydrogen for both of those carbon-hydrogen bonds. For the carbon-2 to carbon-3 sigma bond, and then the carbon-3 to carbon-4 we'll do next when we do carbon-4. So carbon-2 to carbon-3, that sigma bond, well, carbon-2 is sp hybridized, and carbon-3 is sp3 hybridized. So that sigma bond would occur from orbital overlap of a hybrid sp orbital from carbon-2 overlapping with a hybrid sp3 orbital from carbon-3. Moving my way over to the right to carbon-4. Carbon-4 has 3 electron domains: carbon-carbon single bond, carbon-oxygen single bond, and a carbon-oxygen double bond. So 3 electron domains. Because I have 3 electron domains and they are all bonding, I would be trigonal planar, would be my electron domain and my molecular geometry. And because I have 3 electron domains, I would be sp2 hybridized. So carbon-3 to carbon-4 sigma bond. Carbon-3 is sp3 hybridized, so that hybrid orbital would overlap with an sp2 hybrid orbital from carbon-4. And then my carbon-4 to oxygen-1, I have a double bond. So I have 1 sigma bond and 1 pi bond. The sigma bond, well, carbon-4 is sp2 hybridized, and the oxygen is also sp2 hybridized. If we take a look for a second, oxygen has 3 electron domains, 1, 2, and the double bond is 3. So 2 lone pairs of electrons and a double bond represents 3 electron domains. Oxygen 1 with 3 electron domains will be trigonal planar as well, and sp2 hybridized. The pi bond will occur between a p orbital from carbon-4 and a p orbital from oxygen-1. Because again, sp2 hybridized means I took 1 s orbital and 2 of the 3 p orbitals and blended them together. That means I have 1 remaining p orbital that is unhybridized. So oxygen-1, I'll work through it even though I went over it. I've got 3 electron domains. One bonding and 2 non-bonding. But because I have 3 electron domains, I would be sp2 hybridized. So those lone pair electrons reside in a hybrid sp2 orbital, and as I already indicated down here, that oxygen to carbon bond, that double bond, is composed of a sigma bond between 2 hybrid sp2 orbitals and between 2 atomic p orbitals between carbon and oxygen. So our lone pair, they are in a hybrid sp2 orbital, and then the bonds from oxygen, right, are outlined below. Now oxygen 2. Oxygen 2, I have 4 electron domains. I have 1, 2 lone pairs of electrons, and then a carbon-oxygen single bond and a carbon-hydrogen single bond. Because I have 4 electron domains, right? My electron domain geometry would be tetrahedral. My molecular geometry would be bent, but because I have those 4 electron domains, right, the hybridization of this oxygen would need to be sp3 hybrid. So that means the lone pair electrons are in a hybrid sp3 orbital. My bonds, my carbon 4 to oxygen 2, right, that would be between a sp2 orbital from carbon 4 overlapping with a hybrid sp3 orbital from oxygen 2, and then oxygen 2 to hydrogen, that would be a hybrid sp3 orbital from oxygen overlapping with an s orbital from that hydrogen. So that's how we break down sigma pi bonds, and then going from how many sigma and pi bonds we have to what is the hybridization, right? How many electron domains do I have? Based on the electron domains, how many hybrid orbitals would I need? Once you determine how many hybrid orbitals, okay, how many atomic orbitals did I have to mix together, and what do I have left?